First things first, I just want to apologise if I sound full of cold. I'm a little bit sniffly at the moment and I can't decide if it's hay fever, because I get that all year round, or whether I've got a bit of a winter cold from somewhere. Don't worry, I'm fine, I haven't got the lurgy, but I am feeling a bit full of sniffles, so I apologise if I sound a bit weird. Anyway, this video is going live on the first Sunday of December, which means I am obviously starting to feel a little bit Christmassy and thinking about Christmas themed videos I can make for this channel. Now, Christmas time is my favourite time of the year, so in a normal year there would be lots for me to get excited about around this time. But as we all know, 2020 has not been a normal year. Which leads me to ask the question, just how weird will Christmas 2020 actually be? For a start, my Christmas usually really gets going when the chorus I sing with, More Harmony, start practicing our Christmas repertoire. Now, last year, if you're a long-term viewer of this channel, you'll know that I felt super Christmassy because a group of us actually went out to Germany to sing in a big Christmas concert. So, you know, this time last year I had lots to be getting excited about to do with the chorus. But this year, what with the whole global pandemic going on, we've not been able to have in-person rehearsals since March. So we've been trying to practice our Christmas repertoire over video chat, which is great, but not the same. And normally we would be doing that so that we'd be perfectly polished for when we go and perform in front of audiences. And that's not happening either, because let's face it, there's not many events happening that we could sing at, and even the few events that are going ahead, because thankfully Cornwall is in Tier 1, which has the fewest restrictions, we're a chorus with several vulnerable members or members who live with someone who is vulnerable. So we don't really want to take the chance of going out into crowds of lots of people. And even if we did decide, okay, we can probably stand 2 meters apart and hopefully the audience will be a safe distance away, and just to be extra safe, we'll wear our singers' masks. As much as we love them, because, you know, soon, hopefully we will go back to in-person rehearsal thanks to the fact that we have them, those singers' masks don't exactly look festive. They don't really go with our festive performance outfits. They make us look like ducks. Quack, 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 quack. Another thing that I do every year to get me in a really Christmassy mood is go with my mum to see the school nativity play at the school opposite the nursery we both used to work at. A lot of the children we taught obviously go on to that school, so it's really lovely to sit in the audience and be like, oh, there's so-and-so, oh, don't they look sweet? I don't even know if the school is having a nativity play this year, but even if they are, obviously I know from personal experience that schools, just like nurseries, are essentially germ factories. So even if they are having a nativity play, we won't be going. In fact, we're not really going to many places at all, which is very unusual for this time of year. Normally we get excited about going Christmas shopping in Truro, and admittedly the day after this video goes live, Leslie and I are going to a small shopping centre where there's a big Boots and an M&S and a TK Maxx and a Next. But we are not going into Truro because the idea of going somewhere very busy, full of people, no, that's a big no. And also we are planning to go there quite late in the afternoon in the hope that most of the crowds will have been and gone by that point. I just don't want to be around people with their many germs. And that's not the only reason that I'm not as thrilled about Christmas shopping this year as I usually am. As you'll know if you're a regular viewer, I quit my job this year. Partly because I worked in a germ factory, as mentioned, and partly because I thought, do you know what? If I don't do this now, I'll never do it. And me and Leslie set up our own business together, which is super exciting. But, you know, we're waiting for it to become profitable, and therefore I can't afford Christmas shopping. But of course, the weirdest and hardest thing for a lot of people this Christmas is the fact that restrictions in place may mean that they don't get to spend it with their families or loved ones, and that's really, really tough. I have a friend who is probably watching this who I spoke to the other day, and she told me that the restrictions in her country mean that she is probably going to spend Christmas Day on her own in her apartment with just her cat for company, and I'm gutted for her. I wish she didn't live in another country so I could be like, okay, shield for a couple of weeks, get a test, come to my house for Christmas, because I don't like the idea of someone I care about spending Christmas Day all by themselves. As a side note, if you are someone who is going to have to spend Christmas by yourself, or if you're someone who just finds Christmas difficult and isn't really excited about the whole thing, I really, really recommend you go onto Twitter and use the hashtag #JoinIn. It's something that was started by a comedian over here called Sarah Millican several years ago, and basically everybody uses the hashtag to share their own festive stories. They talk about what they're doing at that moment, and they share their Christmas Day with everybody following the hashtag, and it just makes you feel less alone. I know people who've used it and really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really lovely thing to do. So if you are on your own, join in. In this house, we're super lucky because Michelle and Kim plan on shielding before they come back down with the baby, and they'll probably get tested as well just to make absolutely sure they're not bringing anything into the house. Because despite what our fabulously clever Prime Minister says, I don't believe that COVID will take 5 days off over Christmas. No, I think the idea of having multiple people from different households just coming over to your home with the windows shut because it's cold and, you don't know if any of those people have been shielding or have been tested. I think that's insanity. I'm sorry, I understand everybody wants to spend Christmas with their families, but, why would you take that risk with something that has killed, in this country alone, over 58,000 people so far? Don't tell me it's the same as seasonal flu, because it's not. I just think the idea of ignoring the rules completely over Christmas so that we can all have a lovely jolly time together is insane. Merry Christmas, Granny! There are ways to celebrate Christmas together whilst being safe, and I hope that whatever you're doing for Christmas this year, you will be safe and you will enjoy it. It is going to be a bit weird for a lot of us, but I think hopefully we can have Christmas that's a bit strange this year so that next year everything can go back to normal and we'll have the amazing big family Christmases that we all want. I will be back next week, hopefully spreading some festive cheer, if my voice holds out, with some Christmas a cappella, so look forward to that. If you enjoyed this video, you can feel free to give it a festive thumbs up. You can click on my floaty head if you would like to subscribe, and over here is last week's video. Let me know in the comments how you're spending your Christmas. Let's have a chin wag and join in. Take care everyone, talk to you next week. Bye!